Hi, gorgeous diva.
Hi, Diva Down.
Hi, diva. Diva down. Do you feel? Are you diva down today, or are you diva up? I'm diva mid.
I'm Diva Mid. Yeah.
It's a diva mid kind of day.
It's because it was like rainy today.
It was rainy. We had a weird weekend because it was 4th of July, off Thursday, work Friday.
Off.
On. Yeah.
Off.
Taking off the mask.
Putting on the mask,
taking off the mask.
It can all get
It
a
can
little
all get a little
exhausting.
But you know what keeps me going? Iland 2.
Iland 2 non-applicable. This week we watched episode 4 of Iland 2 not applicable. This is the unit test. It's time. This is, I think, the strongest test in the entire Iland franchise.
Totally. It's very unique in that way.
It's the most where we get to see them individually what
shine.
they excel at. Yeah.
But before we go in there, girl, we gotta finish the last week's mission.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We need to pick between missions.
My arch nemesis Mnet keeps editing these shows where they'll finish a challenge the week after.
Yeah.
Or they'll like start a challenge
And don't finish
do one and then do the rest of the challenge next
Yeah.
week. So we get to see Chaeyeon, Yuna, Yuiko, Eunchae, Gyuri, and Jiyoon all do Ua's Twice's Ua.
Not
Ua's song Twice, which they should release one.
They should release a song called
and
Twice.
then they should collab and do both.
Yeah.
For like a fun
Ua
little...
Twice performs Ua Twice. Like Ua Twice, yeah.
This was the one that they had teased because there's so much narrative surrounding Jiyoon. I don't want to say she's the main character of the season, right? Because usually main character... She's not the protagonist.
She's not the protagonist.
But she's definitely...
Who is the protagonist? Is it John? I don't think so. They're not doing a main character narrative.
So, like, in Iland 1, Jay was the main character in the show. He was, like, the best trajectory. It was, like, the most interesting storyline where he kept going back to ground and then coming up. And, like, I think all the boys who ended up in Hypen all had, like, good storylines. But, like, Jay's was the one where it was, like, he was kind of an underdog for a little bit, but he was really talented. It felt like people weren't really seeing his talent.
He kept getting into
He has such a big personality, blah, 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 blah. Heesung is similar, I think, to Junggeun, where they're both like the ace of the show. So they have narratives in terms of being like they're learning like how to approach those who are not as good as them. It's really like the narrative for both of them, but it's not like that's not protagonist energy. That's just like narrative to make sure you know that the show is like, but you do need to vote for them.
Yeah.
They need to end up in the group.
We do need the audience needs to buy the album.
Yeah. Yes, I'm gonna need the audience to buy the album.
Yeah. I can't tell yet. I would say, okay, there is possibility that it's Jiyoon because of, especially in this episode's trajectory, because she starts...
Because Fuko is K.
Yeah. There's definitely a narrative there, too.
But K was also not the protagonist of the show either.
Yeah. Okay, but with Jiyoon, though, she starts at the bottom and then ends on the top this full episode.
Yes, that is true. She is a fascinating character.
Is one of the most fascinating characters.
They are not editing her to be liked.
No.
She's very talented. She's a really good singer. I really like the tone of her voice. But they are emphasizing that in the edit that she is a regular person who has regular emotions. Yes. But obviously this is K-pop, so you're not allowed to have those.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be Yuju.
She feels it's not as blatant.
No. The season has to keep going for me to kind of really figure out who it is. But
right. But she will go back and forth, Iland and Ground.
Yeah.
So the main story in part 1 is to stay in Iland, right?
Correct.
That's the goal. That's the mission.
The goal. Well, yeah. I would say the mission is to get in the group. But yeah. In part 1,
but the way they edit and package part 1,
yes,
it's not about final group. They're not being like, I have to debut.
It's about make it to part 2.
It's about I have to make it to part 2, so I need to stay in Iland.
Yeah.
So I think like
in Highland.
Yeah. There we go.
There you go.
Hey, branding. In Highland, I felt like Sunu Jay, Nikki probably felt that narrative. Probably Jay, because Jay was the one who was like, I brought ground to the level that like we competed with Iland.
Yeah.
And
they were able to swap.
Yeah. And then Nikki, he needed longer time in ground, but his story was like, all that time in ground really helped me propel into Iland too.
Yeah.
So that regard, I could see YouTube because she's gonna go back and forth. Because no one really is
watch this space.
Because it's weird. There's no like ground main character.
No. Well, it's Ji-yoon.
Well, it's Ji-yoon, but
It's Ji-yoon and Fuko right now.
It's Ji-yoon and Fuko.
Yeah. None of the original ground girlies have narratives.
Yeah.
Chaeyeon is probably the one who has the most
time because she is very entertaining to watch. Like she's very emotional.
Very emotional. She's very memorable.
Yes.
And she has like a specific thing that you can be like, oh, she's the ballerina.
She's the ballerina who's like learning how to do this.
Correct. We're gonna finish the challenge. We're doing Twice as Ua. Thoughts about Twice as Ua? The zombie song?
The zombies. It was the first time Adam watched the debut music video. He was like, zombies in my Twice?
In my Twice?
It's not. It's not likely. I think it was just that first.
It's more likely than
it's more likely than you think, I guess, because I guess once.
Yeah, once. Not
honey,
twice.
Not twice. Just once.
I don't know. Maybe. Could you imagine if it was like Twice was like in Hypen where they were like, and we're gonna just keep doing zombie music.
They fight
That's
zombies.
Our concept
That's their
for
concept.
forever.
They're zombie
That would have been so wild.
Twice, like probably the most popular girl group.
Here's what I'm issuing a plea to all the labels, okay, especially Big Four. Go back into your archives. Go back to those earlier videos. Start translating those lyrics right on that YouTube video. You can actually just go back and edit.
The video is still there.
Content creators, I can tell you how to do it. I'm happy to show you if you need me to. But I would love to, when I go back and say watch Taeyang's song. What the fuck was that song?
Eyes, nose, throat specialist.
Ear, nose, and throat. It would be great to be like, oh, that's what he's singing about. Or even Taeyeon's song, which also only came out in 2019 and still like did not have anything.
But it's in English. The song's called Fine.
The one word is in English. You're right.
She says it's not fine.
Okay, the three words are in English.
So I don't know why you need more than that. That's the song.
I'm gonna honestly, this episode is just gonna be me reviewing the three music videos referenced. Okay, but we're not talking about that yet. We're talking about Twice as Ua.
Yeah,
which is a good song.
Very
very bright, very bubbly. Obviously, the point of the music video being like the contrast.
The contrast to Red Velvet's, Bad Boy.
Oh, I meant like in their actual music video, the contrast of like them being bright with the zombies.
Yes,
and the bubble.
yeah. Because they're super bright.
They're dancing while the world ends. Great. Okay, so here's the performance.
It's Gyuri's song. I don't know. She was the only one that anyone like.
She is highlighted in the interim check. They're like, you did great.
You did great. You're kind of the only one that's feeling the song, feeling the fantasy.
Eunchae is told like, "Mama, get it together." Jiyoon is fully like
sour candy.
What are we? Sour candy. Yeah. And then they like regroup after the interim check, and they're like, "We're gonna get it together," and then they basically do the exact same performance.
The producers say that nothing has changed since the interim check. That's not something you want to hear.
No, it's definitely not. I liked their styling
way more than Bad Boy.
Better than Bad Boy. Bad Boy styling, Boo Boy. And I mean Boo Boy.
Boo Boy.
Not you.
Not me.
They like know that she's like...
We know you don't want to be in ground.
Right. No, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we know. We
the
literally...
The point of the show is that you don't want to be in
We
ground.
literally saw what happened to you, and then that got you here. But it's this, like, we can still see it. That's the problem.
Yeah, you're not you're not using that as like, because the whole point of all these is like they want you to have the conversation with RuPaul in the workroom where they're like, it really lit a fire under my ass.
Yes.
Everybody anywhere always wants to hear that.
Right.
That is the narrative that they want. That's what the shows are built on.
There is no fire. There is nothing inspiring her.
Fire, but it's like scorched earth. Like it's like I want to set fire to everybody around me.
I want to burn everything.
Right.
That they're fully just like, girl. Like Monica was very stern to her.
Yes.
Terrified me. It scared me when I was watching it.
Ooh. Scared. By twice.
By twice. Yeah.
This performance is not good. I don't want to beat around the bush.
Which sucks because we love bright girlies. We love bright concepts. Like Diva. That is what I want to watch.
Right.
But all of them except for Gyuri.
Literally except for
Gyuri. And then I would say Chan too. But because they did not.
She was smiling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone looked miserable.
I don't even know. Well, okay. June tried to smile more. Really tried. She had a whole...
They did this whole thing that was like, it's going to be my hidden skill. And she still didn't. That was the thing that all of them said. Like, it looks like she's still half-assing it. She's not going all out.
Yeah.
She's saving it. She keeps saving it.
It's fascinating to me because, like, I don't know. It's one thing for the boys to go on in hype and be
Highland. Like, oh my god, Aegyo, so cringe.
Right. It's one thing for boys to do that, right? Because like you can ostensibly get away with having an entire career where you never have to do a Bright song.
Yeah.
Definitely not a Bright title track.
No.
Seriously, B1. Girl groups, it's weird to be like, I am a trainee, but I don't like this ever want to smile.
And you know what? Women don't have to smile. When you go into a survival show, you know you have to try different styles.
I guess.
Because you can be like, okay, this is my style. But you're always going to be challenged to show that you can do more than one style.
It's a standard style.
But it is a standard, especially in K-pop.
Especially in K-pop, especially in girl groups. It is one of your standard, like, you should know how to do this if you're gonna be on a show like this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, just stay in your little training company and
wait until they
they just do a girl crush concept group and that's all you ever do.
Yeah.
And you make millions of won. Great. I'm not criticizing June that's
not why we criticize for June.
I just think it's like interesting that
that's not the reason we criticize her.
So she breaks down with Gyuri after the remarks. Two people are definitely going home. In Whistle, the highest score was Yui, who, fought for that rap part. And obviously it worked out for her. She got 91. The lowest score in Whistle is 68. That's Minsol.
68.
Does that feel really low?
That feels really low.
I definitely think she was the weakest of both Iland groups.
I think so too.
I don't know if 68.
I think it's because we barely saw her, but I think that's the problem, that she just drowned in the song.
And of course, Sebi feels very
because she fought for the panorama role, and Sebi did amazing. And Minsol, while they were choosing, she was like, I don't know if I don't think I can
do Whistle.
And Sebi kind of like, well, I think you can.
Sebi really bullies her into it. Let's say it. Let's start these rumors.
Yes, now that it's done. Let's start rumors.
Let's campaign. It's anti-campaign. So in I'm gonna keep calling it Paranorman. In Paranorman, Sebi gets 93. So incredibly deserved.
I think so too. That's
right. And the lowest is a tie between Seoul, Juwon, and Tongun at 83.
Which, I mean, it's still good comparatively. It's not 68. But that means that the group was pretty even.
Yeah. So Paradox gets 459. Whistle gets 435. So Whistle's going to ground. The girls are trucking their asses to ground.
Sejong's going to ground. Yuju's back at ground.
Demon's going to ground.
Yui's going to ground.
Sarang is going to ground. Minsol's back at ground.
Oof.
Yikes. And then,
but I'm from the camp that I think being able to experience both, you get the most out of this experience.
It's not even. I don't even think it's both. I don't even think it's like Iland versus whatever. They're all still learning.
They're also learning it together.
They're all doing the same thing. One just has like a gym and different practice rooms. It is that they need to intermingle the groups so they can really figure out who works well.
What's the best group dynamic?
The whole point of the show is to just figure out where the proper 7 that work as a team are, or however. I think it's 6 actually. Yeah. So then they don't show the ground scores officially. They just show
Iland's their scores.
Yes, they show Iland's their scores, but then ground they just say that
it's just whoever wins. Yeah,
Bad Boy beat UA.
Yeah, fairly so.
So then they bring both groups who are living in ground to the main stage. So that's Whistle and UA. They bring both of them up, line them up. And they say, here are the people with the bottom 3 scores. Eunchae, Yuiko, and Minsol.
And the bottom 3.
Those are the bottom 3.
And we know Minsol has 68. We know.
Minsol knows. Nobody knows.
So she's like, if they don't do worse than 68, I'm out.
So then they reveal the first one to go is Eunchae. Her score was 65.
And 24 literally said that Eunchae sounded just like singing at a talent show. He was like, nothing's improved. That was rough.
Yuiko gets 67, so she's...
I don't think it should have been Yuiko. I don't know. It's drawing straws here, I feel like, but... Not that I'm saying Minsol should have been the one, but I was surprised that Yuiko was the second worst in
Yuiko for me would have gotten a couple extra points because she had the cutest outfit. And that's just who I am as a person.
Yeah.
But unfortunately her outfit didn't save her in the judges' eyes.
No, because she made it. She made that outfit.
I know.
It was a design challenge.
She used the mood board.
Yeah. Thank you, mood.
And Minsol lives to slay another day.
And Sabi is relieved.
Gyuri got the highest score at 84, which I feel like she could have got like 87, 88. In my opinion, she did. I don't know.
Better than
the worst. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I just really like Gyuri. I'm really on the Gyuri train. I would have given her like 87.
I feel bad because everyone didn't match her energy.
I know.
So by that, it made it look like maybe she wasn't that good.
Yeah. And then Eunchae obviously got 65, but of the 4 girls who are left from that team, Jiyoon got 71.
It could have been her. I mean, they were all just like 1 point away.
Yeah. On the other group, Bad Boy.
I don't know how to help you anymore, girl. I really don't. You're writing the notes, so I don't know.
On the other group, it's hard because the other day is gone. I can't even look at the words. In the other group, Bad Boy, the highest was Fuko at 88, obviously. Mm-hmm. And the lowest was Kang Jiwon at 63, who officially was the lowest score in the whole day.
So she would have gone home if Bad Boy.
If it was just the
lowest.
bottom 2, yeah.
Yeah. But because
that
she got saved.
Feels right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Let's move to unit battles. Let's move on. We've passed one round. Let's shake it off. We're moving on. They are heading into a new challenge. This is the unit test. This is the pièce de résistance of the Iland
ground situation.
Yes. Yep. They are going to break up into 3 smaller teams from each camp. There's going to be a vocal challenge, there's going to be a dance challenge, and there's going to be a creative challenge. So they're going to create their own choreography. Yeah. Which is
new.
Completely unnecessary as an idol, let's be completely honest, but okay, fine, it's a fun little gag.
I wonder if they did it because they knew they have the talent in there to do it.
Well, because but in
Iland, in Highland, it was just vocal and dance, and the rest did nothing for the week.
Yeah.
So
But in Boys Planet, it was create your own rap.
that's true.
But they also did like vocal dance.
But there is a rap.
Yeah.
They have technically a rap instructor or like rap mentor.
Yeah.
They don't.
And I don't think enough girls rap to be like, here's a whole rap challenge.
Yeah.
For each time, so like vocal, it's going to be ground versus island. Each one is going to be ground versus island. So each time ground wins, 3 girls are getting booted out of island. So the ground girlies are like, we're getting 9 out of there.
We just need to win each round, and we got them.
We got them. Because there's only 10 girls in ground.
Yeah.
First of all, can you imagine being the one person that's left in ground?
Oof. Yeah, I can.
But it actually doesn't matter because there's going to be 2 eliminations at the end of this round as well. So we're going to go from 10 in ground currently to 8.
So in theory, if all of ground win 3 challenges,
Yeah.
9.
Which we don't genuinely have no idea.
Yeah, 9 girls go into Iland. So then the 9 girls that were in Iland and the 1 ground that stays are now the pool to get eliminated.
Correct. Yeah.
So 2 girls from Iland could get eliminated.
Yeah.
Boogie.
Here are the songs. And what's even crazier is they are all different.
They're all different. Yeah.
So the vocal challenge for Iland is Fine by Taeyeon. For ground, it's Eyes, Nose, and Ear, Nose, and Throat by Taeyang. Eyes, nose, and ears. For the dance challenge, they're not all different. We'll get to it in a second. The gaggery, the goopery, and the gaggery.
Oh, yeah.
For the dance challenge, Iland is doing My Bag, and then Eve, Psyche, and Bluebeard's Wife. And then ground is doing Mic Drop and Sugarcoat. And then both creative groups are creating choreography to Rain on Me by Lady Gaga featuring Ariana Grande.
And they literally started playing, and Adam and I literally
Ariana,
went,
what are you doing
here?
Stephanie Germanotta, what are you doing here?
They said Oscar winners only, bitch, for the creative team.
Because Ariana Grande, future Oscar winner for her performance
as Glinda in Wicked.
Part
1 and 2.
She's going to double Oscar.
She's going to double Oscar, obviously. Actually, it's going to tie.
She's going to get Wicked 1 and Cynthia's getting Wicked 2. Oh, no. Or they're going to split. She's going to go supporting?
Well, that's the thing. Is Glinda supporting in part 1?
Tying?
Or are they tying? Who knows? She's probably going for supporting.
If
they're going to put Glinda in supporting.
Can I say this, though? If they're not winning any Oscars, but if they were to win, if
Ariana Grande
both of them were to
and Cynthia Erivo win tie Best Actress for
is that happening? But here's what could happen: they're both nominated for Best Comedy / Musical Actress at the Golden Globes.
Oh, they could tie that,
and then Ariana wins. Kristen Chenoweth will be absolutely livid. Because she's like, Idina Menzel took that fucking Tony away from me. But that's enough Broadway chat for today. I'm going to say this about their prep going into this. They decide all the teams, and then a huge decision is made.
Yes.
Iland decides that they're going to put their strongest contenders in their
vocal and dance.
And all the rest are going to be in creative.
Because they think that at least we're
definitely going to win those two.
Definitely going to win those 2.
So the most we lose 3.
The most we lose is 3 people, and I think that let's go for the most surefire.
We're definitely going to win these. Yeah. Island or ground does the exact opposite, which is let's balance
all the teams,
so that way there's a strong shot.
There is a strong shot that we can win all 3, which is fair. I mean, they're the ones
They're fighting.
It has to be their win.
The fire has been lit under their ass, RJ.
Wow, amazing.
So I think it's fascinating that they really, of their own accord, decided to come. That is hubris. We're watching hubris in action. Somewhere
they decided it, and we had to pause our reaction to be like, I already know how this is going to turn out. Not good.
Archimedes or whatever. Who is the Greek tragic writer?
Archimedes, bitch.
Yeah, who's that?
He did the triangle.
That's Pythagoras.
Aristotle, bitch.
Aristotle's like,
she's taking it.
Somi comes to visit. John's homie comes to visit.
She said, "Happy Pride, everyone! I'm here."
She gathers up the girls. She gathers them together, and then weirdly, it seems like there's gonna be like a back and forth, a bunch of questions being asked, kind of like how when Bangtan came to
and Highland.
And
it was just one main question that they lingered on
for the whole
segment, and it was Fuko being like, "How do you do this when you've already done a survival show once?"
When she says, "I'm 21 and I'm
19."
She's 19?
Yes, Fuko's 19.
Fuko goes, "I'm 19. I'm practically a hag. I'm going to have to retire like in 3 months after this.
My time being a trainee is running out."
Yeah.
And Somi was like...
It's really sick when you really think about it.
And then they show like a full package of like other girls, not necessarily in Iland. Because they show Jimin, they show Yuju, like they show Nana a little bit of like people who have done this more than once. And how hard it is. And the struggle of like wanting to cheer for your friends.
And Somi obviously has
experience. Did not debut in Twice, but then like did a second group. And you know, like it's very interesting. It literally became like survival show therapy.
Yeah, which I think a lot of you probably need after all these shows. Yeah.
Should we host survival show therapy?
Let's have the girls. Let's do a new segment called Survival Show Therapy. We just have somebody translate, and we help them work through their.
We help them work through their survival show.
We put them in the like unsolved mysteries silhouetted back.
Yes,
we give them like a voice modulator, so nobody knows who they are. But then they say like,
but then they say stuff like, "I really wanted to practice.
I cried myself to sleep every night, and
I really wanted to practice hard, but, you know." Shunriki did not want me to practice anymore.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And it's a mystery,
but it's completely anonymous. Yeah.
So that was fun. Okay, good times were had by all. Let's go to these vocal challenges. The vocal girlies go up against each other. Vocally, Jungleun and Fuko are doing "Fine" by Taeyeon. And in ground, we have Jiyoon and Minsol doing "Ear, Nose, and Throat" by Taeyang. I'm gonna keep making that joke. For the first time, watched both of these music videos before we started today. Neither of them had
lyrics
in English, so that's a little bit annoying. Can I say this Taeyeon music video for "Fine"?
I also love that they picked Taeyeon versus Taeyang.
Did you hear me scream when I was watching it? There is a gag in the middle of the music video. Because the whole song is like she says she's fine, but she's struggling.
Yeah,
you go into like the final chorus basically, and you're in the song, and then she like stops singing, and you hear the director yell "cut" because she like can't continue, and then it like pulls out. It becomes really meta for like a second, and then it goes back into it. I was like, okay, come on, Art, you bitch, you better give. Also, Taeyeon's voice is crazy because why are you this fucking thin, little and have a voice like that? That's nuts.
Yeah. You have soul in your voice.
Oh, she's so good. She's so good. It's a very cool music video.
Nothing for Taeyang's video?
Well, I can talk about it. So Taeyang's music video is it's a one shot. So that's very interesting. It's like a 3-minute song. It is all one. It's just pulling away. It is June 2014. We had just graduated college when this song came out, which is absolutely insane to think about. It's in his full Yorobun era.
Oh, so he's got the short hair
he's got the short hair. He's actually wearing a hat in it, and that's all that's on the upper half of his body. A big necklace and a hat. And then it slowly reveals he's like naked on chest wise. And then he has like jeans on. And then there's like this, like, he's in a room. First it's dark behind him. Then there's like snow coming in. Then there's like what seems to be like a lighthouse in the background or something. Or like, is it the searchlight at like a prison? You don't know what it is, but it's like a spinning light. And then you realize like it's like you pull further back and it's like a screen, and so he's like in a warehouse and it's like being projected, and so I don't. And again, no idea how this ties into the song because I don't know the lyrics, and I could have looked them up. Yes, I know, obviously, but I didn't feel like it. Okay, and then we pull back, and then at the very end, in his last like few seconds of the song, it all like bursts into flame and like lights everything on fire, and then there's like this poster above the like projection of basically like someone who it basically looks like the poster for Les Mis where it's like Cosette
Just
with
the
the like
face with the strands of hair.
strands of hair. It's not that, to be clear, but that's
But
what
it
was
looked
giving
like
me.
that, yeah.
And I don't know, there was almost a level that I was like, is this an OST for like a show? I don't think it is.
Yeah.
But that's what it was giving for a second. And then that also catches on fire, and then that's the end of the video. And I was like, oh, it is all in black and white except for the
fire.
black and white, or it's just like it's just dull. It's like
Okay.
muted tones. Those are Adam's music video reviews. Congrats to Taeyang for having that body. To be honest, congrats. Body T.
The vocal challenge.
The vocal challenge. This is why we're here.
This is why we're here. So they put John and Fuko because they're the best vocalists. It's great. John's got these whistle notes. She's going for it. They do the interim.
She messes up. But and it's the first time we're seeing John struggle. Like it feels like she's just getting weighed down a little bit. But it doesn't feel like it's affecting. She's not like sad. Correct. It doesn't feel like it's affecting her. It just feels like she's like, oh, this happened.
Yes. It just feels like, oh, like we're seeing a person like 4 weeks into a very hard program.
Right.
Yeah.
There are special judges for this interim
Yes,
challenge.
Lip
We have
J
Lip
and
J and
Jaehwan.
Jaehwan come in. Jaehwan had probably just left the build-up set when
And
they
then
were
went
filming
right
this.
down here.
So they give Fuko notes about, not even notes, they just like praise her for her like expressions during the song and her like in the check. She's really kind of like the Dongun from build up of this show where she like is very emotive. when she sings.
Yes, yeah. It was very the energy from the Iland vocal performance was giving very like Sarah Bareilles almost. There was something very like, it must have been that jacket, it's the jacket with the dress and the boots, like that energy.
So this song is fully like Avril Lavigne ballad.
Yeah.
That is exactly, especially when I listened to the Taeyeon version, I was like, oh my god, it's 100% that.
Yeah. I mean, I thought they did a good job, but I didn't expect any less. It didn't connect to me that John did do a whistle note, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. I thought that was just a high note. It is higher than usual.
Yeah.
I think they're very well balanced. I think I can still see that she can like loosen up a little bit more, like when she's just singing. But I think Fuko like fucking nailed it. Like
Fuko is,
this could have been like a solo song. Like if the challenge was like sing a solo,
yeah.
and she could have sung this, and I think they would have done great. Like
This is Fuko's best performance on the show.
Totally,
for sure,
totally.
so far.
She looked like a fucking like actress.
Yes.
With this hair down
and
the
gown.
dress.
Yeah. I thought that this, I'll just be honest, I preferred this performance over the other performance.
Over Taeyang.
But I think this one had a bigger hurdle in terms of it's a 1-to-1 from like girl voice to girl voice, iconic Taeyeon vocals to this.
Which the other performance had more of a interpretation that you could lean in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also don't think they went with an arrangement that's like an acoustic guitar, basically. But it did not match their vocals.
Yeah, I agree.
And the original arrangement is like with
but you
a
still
full...
preferred this performance over the other one?
Yeah. I connected to this. I thought they were really well balanced. I thought their harmony together sounded incredible. I thought that they both were featured equally. I thought it highlighted both of them as vocalists. I just thought like it was like a perfect performance of just like this is exactly what the challenge is.
Yes, they met the challenge, yeah.
And like exceeded.
Totally.
I don't know if I would say exceeded expectations because they already have high expectations.
Yeah. So I think they just met them. I think they just met them.
But I did tear up at this song. The other performance is Eyes, Nose, and Ears. Mm-hmm. I'll say it correctly one time for this episode. By Taeyang. And there had been like a little bit of like a switcheroo. It was originally going to be Gyuri instead of Minsol. And then kind of says like, oh, I think Minsol might be a better fit actually for the vocals of the song, blah, blah, blah.
And Minsol really wanted to challenge herself after coming in almost last, basically.
Mm-hmm. So ironically, the thing that June is really upset with Jonghyun about, she just does to Gyuri. I do want to point that out because they bring that entire narrative back for the episode. Yeah. They do like a quick montage.
They see each other in the interim that they're going to sing against each other. And then they show the whole montage of Jonghyun promising her that she was going to be main vocal and then swapping.
Doing the interim, her getting told she doesn't have the voice for
going
the
to
vocal,
ground. Even though she had like a good score, but she was voted off, blah, blah, blah.
Being upset. Leaving with an attitude, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
To really plant the seed that
Jiyoon hates
Jonghyun. She is the reason why.
This is just the interim, by the way.
Yeah.
Just the interim.
Yeah. They tell them that it doesn't sound like they're together. Jiyoon's nervous. Minsol's nervous. They're like, it doesn't sound like you guys practice together. Mm-hmm. You're not singing with each other.
Yeah.
So.
The interim isn't great. There is wildly, while the first group had done, like Jiyoon leans over and is like, oh, we're definitely going to win. They keep cutting to moments where they are
giggling, like, laughing, ha 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 ha, while the other group is like getting like
a note.
Yes. And I'm like, okay, clearly they're not laughing.
It's not happening in the same time, blah, blah, blah.
Whatever.
But it is interesting that they are like, Jiyoon is that girl.
Mm-hmm.
They go back, they rehearse, they come back, they do this performance. What do you think of this performance?
I mean, I think the performance weighs a lot on Jiyoon. She has most of the song, it feels like.
This is my biggest complaint about
it. But it feels like the song is... But because of that, it feels like the song is like a minute and a half. Like the song... Unless it's trimmed for us. But, I mean, even when Umuti and Hayun did Fallen, that's a short performance. Mm-hmm. But still, it felt like, oh, it's even. Mm-hmm. Here, yeah, it feels like it's all Jiyoon and Minsol doesn't... You barely think that she's saying. Like, basically, the second half of the song is just Jiyoon.
Mm-hmm. I want to be very clear before people start to say that I don't like Jiyoon. These are the best vocals we've heard on the show so far. Jiyoon and this song are the best
this is the
vocals
best
on the
vocals
show.
we've heard the entire
show. She has
show.
the most unique voice. It has the most tone and color. It's
it's got a point of view. It's interpreting the song.
100%.
Like, you can tell that this is how she connects to music. She's a musician in this way.
You can
this
also
is her artistry.
Tell that if she wants to do something, she's going to do it. So it's not that there's it is genuinely like with Jiyoon, she just wants to do what she wants to do. Yeah. And that is completely fair.
I don't know why you chose Iland.
Idol life is what you want to do,
I don't know why you're an Iland girly. I don't know why you thought being an
fingers
idol
crossed for you
could work.
My biggest complaint about this number is that it is mostly Jiyoon.
Yeah.
I think that the point still should be that they are equally featured. And I don't even blame that on the girls. That is fully how this has been arranged.
Right.
Is that one is the backup vocalist for the other.
Right.
Whereas in the other group, they share it equally.
Yeah.
That is my biggest complaint about this song. I think it sounds great. I think she sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I think like the song is really pretty. I think they definitely have lowered expectations, A, because they're in ground, B, because they had kind of flubbed their
interim
check,
and they've had this storyline going with
it's
her.
A Taeyang song, so you're already not going to compare like their voices to his voice, like in the same way that you compare female voice to female voice. Da, 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 da. So
like Taeyang was there and he was like, I got emotional because she interpreted it in her own way.
Yeah.
That's like the gift to a musician, right? That like you can take my work and like make it yours, and I'm hearing it in a different way.
How many people are going to write in and tell us that we're pronouncing Taeyang's name wrong? Because it's probably Taeyang.
Taeyang.
How many?
Do you want me to start speaking Korean? Like, I don't know. This is my biggest, I don't know. Now we can see that you can do 100%. So it's
we are going to expect this.
We are going to expect this every time now, because I know it's not actually like, it's determination.
Yeah.
Like you doing not well in the other challenges was because you weren't in it 100%. So now it's to prove to us, do you actually really want to be here?
Yeah.
Do 100% from now on. I don't know if they said that or if that related to her, but
so Ground gets 92 and Iland gets 91. So Ground has already
won the challenge that everyone on Iland was like, well, it's a fucking shoe-in. I mean, look at these two.
Yeah. Three girls
are now gone. And when it's first of all, Fuko is like distressed. It's 1 point. I feel bad for her, obviously, but she is.
And they also feel the responsibility of being like, three people are going to leave because of us.
Because we were the surefire one.
It's definitely not going to be them.
It's not going to be you two.
There's no way.
There's no way they're going to put you two unless it's all 9, and it could be.
Well, we'll see.
After this happens, Jiyoon and Minsol exit to go back to Ground, and Jiyoon looks at Fuko and goes, "See you soon," and then decidedly turns her head away from Jungwon to walk away.
I just like,
oh God,
pure entertainment factor. I've never gotten my life further.
I was living.
I was living.
Bitch.
In a level of like, you want to be a K-pop idol? You cannot do this. Sweetheart, please. I'm so stressed for your experience with netizens. Oh God, honey, please stop doing this. I'm so worried for you. That's how I feel. But like, please keep
But actually,
this.
please live your truth.
Fascinating. It is fascinating.
Jiyoon the musical, bitch.
Jiyoon the musical.
Jiyoon all along.
Oh, 100%.
Jiyoon all along.
Yeah, for sure.
Miniseries.
Yeah.
Honey. It basically is her damn show.
Let's talk about one more thing. Okay, so Iland is going to do a dance challenge or a dance to
The challenge is dance.
The challenge is dance to My Bag by Idol, and Eve, Psyche, and Bluebeard's wife from Le Seraphim. Eve, Psyche, and Bluebeard's wife. I have somehow
Never
the
seen the music
entire
video?
time missed the music video.
Because they released it late. Yeah.
I semi-follow Le Seraphim, but I just like fully. I think I didn't realize it had I just thought it was like a B-side that got popular.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't. It wasn't the main title track, right?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay, that's why I missed it. Okay, so anyway, I watched it. Okay, Eve, obviously, Adam and Eve, my wife, Psyche. Do you know the story?
It's a Greek one, right?
It's a Greek mythology. She marries Eros, the god of love. He tells her never to look at his face. And her sisters get into her head and they're like, why don't you know what your husband looks like? And so in the middle of the night, she like goes and stares at him while he sleeps. And she's like done the forbidden. And then he like leaves her.
So Eve again.
So it's Eve again. Bluebeard's wife. This is from the fairy tale written by Charles Perrault, who also wrote Cendrillon, Cinderella. And in the story, she marries Bluebeard. He tells her never to go in this room in the house. He's out on a sailing.
Yeah,
he's pirating.
Yeah,
he's pirating.
Yeah.
You wouldn't. What was it? You wouldn't steal a car.
You wouldn't look at your husband's face.
Yeah, you wouldn't go in the room your husband would. So she goes into the room. She finds all the dead, his dead ex-wives that he's killed, basically. And then she like ends up living happily ever after. She gets all his riches somehow. That's what's crazy about the story, is that she doesn't get murdered. It's a fairy tale. Crazier still, the lesson of that story is listen to your husband. Which is like, maybe the lesson is don't marry a pirate. So anyway, it's all about the forbidden fruit, doing the forbidden, blah, blah, blah. So
she was living for her life.
I was kind of gagged. I was on Wikipedia. I was searching.
Yeah.
It was fun. Anyway. Just wanted to share that. I was so excited to learn.
They are matching two songs like this to show contrasting styles, basically. Because My Bag is like hip hop.
My Bag is definitely hip hop.
It's yeah.
And
Eve Psyche Bluebird's Wife is cunty.
It's cunty.
I wouldn't say
they're totally contrasting.
The thing. The challenge was to show that, but I don't know if these two songs are totally contrasting.
I don't think so
because
either.
Lip J was being like, okay, the first song, the vibe is like this, but the second song, the vibe is like strong, powerful women. I'm like, they're both powerful.
She was like, the first one is cool. The second one is like sexy and cool.
Yeah,
basically is what she's saying. And I was like, first of all, I wouldn't. I think she helped choreograph
her Monica.
So like,
oh yes, the actual
song. So I don't want to like say whatever about her choreography, but I was a little like, that's not the vibe I get from that choreo.
Maybe do a bigger shift, or like Ground, do a boy group, girl group song, because Ground is doing BTS and then Sugarcoat by Kiss of Life, which is like girly hip hop.
Yes,
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard because the popular dance styles currently in
they're
K-pop
all yes.
Very hip hop based.
Yes, yeah.
It's not like you can do like a battle. It's not like you're like dancing the Viennese waltz.
Yes. But I think like if you want it, like if it's specific choreo, then it's like, My Bag is like twerking, and then Eve is like whacking. Like, but they don't even go full into those directions, but that's kind of visually why it could look different.
Yeah. Anyway, what do you think?
Who's in it?
Oh, right. I forgot to say that. Coco, Juwon, and Jiwon are in the Iland performance.
Yeah.
So they're like three strongest dancers.
And Coco eats.
Coco is 11 feet tall. She's an avatar. I'm obsessed with her. She can't do anything wrong. Justice for Coco.
Yeah.
I love Juwon.
I think they all do a great job. Because Juwon did a really good job too.
I think Juwon could be the main character.
Yeah. I think Juwon might go to Ground next week.
I think Juwon might go to Ground next week.
And I think that
I have a feeling that
maybe it is Juwon.
She is the most, she's like a big personality. She's
personable. She kind of cracks under pressure here. She keeps, like, Monica and Lip J are like, you keep showing the same annoyed face all the time, which I think is just like her kind of like, I'm cool. Like, that's my go-to. Yes. But they're like, you got to show a different side to it because we've seen it 3 weeks in a row now. Right. And so she kind of cracks under pressure. She cries. They all comfort her. She's like, I can't be a good leader, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it is her. Because she does overcome it. Yeah, watch this space. She does overcome it.
Yeah.
She does well.
I like this performance.
I did too.
I really don't have notes on this one. I just thought they did a really good job. Mm-hmm. I thought Juwon did good at like kind of changing up her faces, but
because
facially, both songs would be the same energy.
Yeah, I think so.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was just the timing of how the timing of the note in her trajectory, like 3 weeks in a row. This is the time you would get that note.
Right.
But the challenge doesn't really fit you applying this note specifically.
Right. And they tried to tie it back into being like, well, they're two different styles. And it's like, okay, they're two different dance styles, but like,
it's still
facially they're
appropriate
doing
what
the
she's
like
doing.
very intense like
You could still do this face for both songs, and it would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, in the music video in Le Seraphim, they do not smile once in that song because it is fully like them being like
it's a misandry song.
Yeah,
it's like fuck men.
Yeah,
basically.
fuck men. Yeah,
that's pretty much it. Since
That's
we
pretty
can't
much it.
cover
I really,
the rest of the dance challenge, I think Ground will win all three.
If Ground wins all three, I will scream.
Iland reacted so crazy when they lost vocal.
I know.
Because they knew that if their surefire was didn't win.
Do you think that was their?
I think that was their
definite
shot.
surefire.
They were their
Jongin.
Yes, because of Jongin and Fuko. Because they saw that Juwon was obviously having a hard time, and creative team, no one knows how to make choreography. So for the choreography
that was such
challenge,
a bad idea. Sujung was like, "I'm gonna create the most incredible."
And
choreo.
Sujung and Ground was like, "They don't. I don't." She
can
were like,
put everybody together, and they still won't match what I can do.
She literally,
I'm obsessed with Sujung.
I'm obsessed with Sujung. I
could
can't wait to talk about her next.
Maybe it's Sujung.
I think
She hasn't really had a narrative.
No, I think part 2 it might be.
Maybe
I could see that. But Sujung literally goes, "I really want to do main vocal, but because this is a challenge where we have to show off our best." She literally says they could put they could put 5 Cocos together.
You could put 100 Cocos in a room, and all you need is one.
And all you need is one Sujung, and I will still win.
And I will still win that challenge. Wow.
I'm obsessed with her. She's kind of my favorite right now.
I know. That bang. That bang.
That bang. She's 2 feet tall.
She's so little.
And she talks like an auntie energy. Like she's just like, what? Blah, blah, blah. Like she's kind of like rough around the edges.
And she always is like, well, we can have you do it for now and then later.
And then later, if it's bad, we'll fix it.
And I just like that energy of being like, this is not set. Nothing is set in stone,
Nothing's set in stone. It's a competition. We should do whatever we have to do.
Yep.
Yeah. So watch this space.
The performance is good. I don't want to feel like I didn't talk about it at all, but like, there's not really anything remarkable to talk about. Yeah, I have to compare it to something.
I have to compare it to the competition.
And it is also a little bit like, you're kind of just doing the choreo from the music video, or they're doing the song's choreo.
Yeah.
You're not.
That's why
they definitely like.
Okay,
they definitely had intense like transitions, and there's a lot of like they switch. There is a
shift. There's a big shift. Yeah. But I do wish that's kind of why I liked in Highland a little bit more. They were like distinct styles. It was like a freestyle and then like pop lock. Like like you go from like
b-boy.
Yes, b-boy energy to like really precise.
Yeah.
That I think that should, because the point is to show your like how good you are as dancers. So we'll see. If you wanna
Discovering voices, building worlds. The Ampliverse.